Since you're going to moan about it, your screen froze, by the way. So I'll wait for that. There you go. You're back. But yeah.
I was trying to pull the same face you were pulling on my side.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, you were looking at Thor's penis on my side, so.
Well, there's not much else to look at. It's getting in my way, dude.
You were looking at Thor's hammer, the real one.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Welcome back to my search. I'm Warren. This is Claudio. We're here for on a third or fourth week in a row now to chat about whatever's happening on the net in the world today. We've got a few topics, even though Claudio didn't care to research or add any input. So I'm here doing all the work. Anyway, he's here with his pink jersey or sweater. So Claudio, say what you got to say.
I got to say, welcome back, guys. Can everyone just give a little bit more appreciation for Warren's little introduction there? He's worked really hard at it. I am on board with this chat now. Maybe next week I'll do a little bit more research.
Yeah, maybe they like to do his job. Maybe. All right. Okay, so based on your lack of effort, okay, for the one topic that I have, it's 50-50 on people's opinion. I'll say my point of view first, and you go with yours. So obviously we know there's a new Batman coming up, a new Batman movie. If you don't know, there's a new Batman coming up, a Matt Reeves movie. Matt Reeves and Robert Pattinson's now Batman. If you don't know who Robert Pattinson is, you know, yes. All right. So those who don't know,
Glitter Man, the man who shines in the sun. Yeah.
Yeah, Twilight, the bedazzled vampire. So there's controversy now with it. Whether he did it to troll everyone or not is a speculation, I guess, at this point. But basically, according to the interview, I think it was on GQ, he said he's not training during quarantine. He's not going to get ripped or buff type thing. He's taking. If you're doing that, you're part of the problem. That's how he kind of said it to the other actors. And as from my opinion, you're also frozen. So we're going to wait on that for Claudio to come back. I'm probably frozen on his side as well. So we're just going to have to wait and see. Yeah, I'm back. Are you back?
I'm back. I mean, I don't feel like I've got anywhere, but I'm still here.
I told everyone we're waiting for you. Don't worry.
Okay, thank you. Right, you're saying.
So based from my point of view is, I don't know what type of Batman they're doing. I haven't looked that deep into it because I am still a fan of what Zack Snyder was doing with Ben Affleck in that look and feel and the whole buffness, because that's how the comics were. He's a buff guy, even though he's a detective and very smart and rich. Batman was always well built. I'm not saying it's the only way to do Batman, but he was always, 6'8", 6'8", whatever, 280 pounds. I'm not saying it's the only way to do it. Val Kilmer wasn't that way back in the day. But it's just how I feel nowadays, especially with the new comics. My opinion on this is you're being paid a lot of money to do it. You've been cast as it. That's the source material. And the fans want it also, nonetheless. And I feel that you're doing a disrespect to not only the fans, but the guys who created the character and the studio who are paying you and the studio who hired lots and lots of professionals to help you train. And you're not doing your part. Whether the character is being followed as a early Bruce Wayne Batman, where he hasn't maybe trained yet, let's just give it that potential. He hasn't become Batman officially. Fine.
He should be like 16 though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If he hasn't become that, I feel that he's just not. I don't think it's right. That's all I'm saying. I think you should put in the effort all rounds, because one, you're being paid to do. It's like a job. It's like you playing soccer and you don't go train because, I don't know, you feel like eating Nando's, but you're getting paid to do it. Or you just don't feel like it. Now, what are you supposed to do with the fans and all the money and what the club is doing? So your point or your view?
First of all, I want to say he's adopting the really privileged attitude, which is what I'm assuming Bruce Wayne would have had anyway. I've got all the money. I don't need to train. So let me just get the toys when I need the toys. And I'm going to be swinging myself around town and just kicking some ass. So maybe that's the approach he's going with. I do think he's being a bit stuck up, considering I think personally he's very lucky for getting the role in the first place. Do I think he's a Bruce Wayne type? No. Sorry, dude. You belong with vampires. That's just where you belong. That's your space. Stay in that space. I feel like you're stepping into a new area. That's the one thing. The second thing is going back to, again, maybe if we're going earlier, maybe Gotham type, where they show the origin story of a Bruce Wayne, and he's growing up, and the kid's still skinny, and he's like a little Jewish kid, which is fair because he's still a kid. We can accept that.
Just a little Jewish kid.
Yeah, I think the actor, I don't know his name.
Specify that little Jewish. Okay.
But you get what I'm saying. I mean, that guy, he's cool because he's growing up, and we can give it away. I'm in full agreement with you. If the guy's getting paid for this, get your personal trainer. It can be online. There's so many personal trainers now with this whole COVID situation that are doing training sessions online where you just log on to Instagram and it's a live feed where you can do your burpees and he could be doing that shit. I feel zero. You know what? I'm actually even going back to the Ben Affleck. I haven't even watched Ben Affleck's Batman's, by the way, just because it was Ben Affleck. That's how important the casting is for me.
Okay. All right. Well, just to answer the one thing you said about the Twilight thing. In fairness, he has done a lot more movies and a lot more different roles. So in terms of his acting ability, it's definitely far above what Twilight was. I'm still not the biggest fan of him, but I can vouch for that and say at least he's stepped up his game in that sense and has become more of what you would want in an actor from what the Twilight was. Just saying that, first of all. Second, in terms of the trainer thing, he doesn't have to go online. The studio pays for trainers and nutritionists already. So he doesn't have to. But I get what you're saying, zero sympathy in that sense. I think of Gal Gadot with Wonder Woman when she was first cast. And everyone was like, oh, she's too skinny. Yes, she's gorgeous, but she's too skinny because you only knew her from Fast and the Furious where she was wearing a bikini or whatever. And she released a statement saying, I owe it to not only the character but the fans to give all my effort. And she went and trained and put on a bit of muscle. Yes, she was never going to be an Amazonian warrior princess like on a physical point, but she put on a bit of the muscle, trained, got in that mindset of I'm a warrior, I have to be strong and fit, and brought the acting she can do to the role, and they worked with it, and it worked. Made $800 million or whatever it was, and to this day she's still one of the favorites of the DC universe currently of characters, apart from Aquaman. Yeah,
cool. Yeah,
I
mean, I don't think DC have done too well with their superhero universe anyway. So whatever they're planning on doing, it needs to be something special.
I think they rushed too much. They also didn't trust in the vision, I think, of the directors and stuff. And too many hands in the pot and the cookie jar type thing. But individual solo films, I think I've done very well. Even if you didn't like Suicide Squad, the movie made $800 million. It still made its money, But anyway, the point was, he basically just said he's not going to bother, at least for now, train, which I feel is the wrong attitude, considering all you have right now is time. Even if he's getting mentally into the character, you can pick up a couple weights,
If anything, he's got more time to do that, so he should be like extra ripped. He should be Henry Cavill from The Witcher sort of buff vibes. You know what I mean? If he's got this much time.
I don't think
that guy's always been buff.
I don't think he's ever get that buff. I would say at least be ripped. As I'm saying, at least be ripped, because one, you're supposed to be basically a trained ninja. And so be like Henry Cavill from Immortals. That's what I would say. If you don't remember that, but the image will be on the screen.
I'm trying to picture that. Where is it going to be? This side. Okay,
it's going to be the other side.
Yeah, look, I'm not opposed to like the skinny sort of Batman vibe. Largely because I'm a skinny fellow. I mean, But anyway, I'm not opposed to it, but it's not Batman, guys. I mean, if you want a skinny type character, get Spider-Man out there.
No, I get.
But also going back to the whole DC thing and Marvel, the whole conversation. I mean, Marvel's pretty much run. It's run by Disney, and Disney's approach on this and the vision and creating the universe and everything else. They've got something called a tentpole strategy, where they create 4 or 5 movies a year, but they go big. Yeah, that's it. So those 5 movies, and they invest a lot into it. They don't bank on smaller budget films and that sort of thing. So that's why you could argue they've got greater success with regards to a strategy and a vision perspective and the movies that they roll out. I don't know, Warren, what do you think about that, young man?
I'd agree to a point. I think that Marvel did have a plan, a much bigger plan. Obviously, Kevin Feige's the brainchild behind everything. He was the president of Marvel Studios, and now they want him to basically run the entire, not the entire, but a big part of Disney as well that incorporates obviously Marvel Studios. And yeah, but you got to remember they started out small. They made the first Iron Man with Robert Downey Jr. and it didn't do massively well. It did very well in terms of popularity and critic view and fan review. Financially, I think it made a few $1 million, a few $100 million. So it made profit. But it was from then on where they started building on it and they started adding and adding and adding till they made the big, collaborations. Where I think where DC's failure is they were going in the right direction by not copying Marvel, because then they would just be a Marvel copy. Let's release 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then they try to come out with a big bang, which I understand. I just think that it was handled incorrectly. And because it was handled incorrectly, then they tried to jump on the bandwagon. Oh, everyone likes Harley Quinn. Let's make a Harley Quinn spin-off. Oh, they were reacting, not thinking ahead and saying, not saying stuff the fans, but saying we're not here to listen to what people think we should do. We're going with what we know we should do. And they'll either come on board or they won't, or they'll understand and accept what we've done, and hopefully it will pay off later. That's just how I feel about how it was handled.
No, I feel like that makes complete sense. And again, it comes down to the leadership and the confidence in the strategy as to what they're trying to achieve in a long-term vision perspective. So 100% agreed. Whereas Disney had outlined everything up front. They knew kind of what they were working with at each movie and each goal. And obviously, like you said, as soon as you're reacting, you're in trouble because you kind of lose what you stand for. As soon as you lose what you stand for, you kind of become whatever everyone else says you are. And I mean, that's from the day to day. That's in any sort of place or organization. So yeah, I mean, DC and I've even forgotten the actor's name. What's his name again?
Robert Pattinson.
Vampire Boy. Robert Pattinson. This better be special, because if it's not, you're pretty much going to kill DC. That's what you're going to do. It's on your shoulders, man. It's on your shoulders.
Yeah, it's on your parents' small shoulders currently.